Hi, this is a brief demo to explain what Datorama is and how it can help organizations like yours to optimize every euro you spend on marketing. Please make your purchasing decision with what is available in the platform and really thank you for listening for this. So what I will start with really is a brief introduction of what Datorama is all about in a high level. Then I will dig a little bit deeper and showcase you the platform and how it looks and how it works. And then we'll go to the next step into the discussion. So let's take a high level look at what Datorama really is about. It is a marketing intelligence platform built for marketeers, and what it does is that it takes hundreds of different marketing channels of raw siloed data in Facebook and Google, but also in hundreds other channels, and merges them all together so you can do basically three things. So number one, you can do very easily reporting directly in Datorama of what is your cross-channel performance, your TV data performance versus impressions in paid media and social. You can create insight bots using machine learning directly inside a platform, and you can track your goals, activations, and create really dynamic actions that could reach out your teams and remind them that they have KPIs to meet. And what it also does is that because it integrates to all marketing data from here, it can also be really easily shared to your CMOs, to your social media team, to your marketing analytics team, but also to external partners and agencies. So who is using Datorama? It is some of the world's largest organizations, and the value they get from Datorama is about time saving, not having to do integrations to social media, to paid media themselves, and optimizing their budget to understand what works best, what works not so well on one channel versus another. So what I want to start with is with a team of Anna, who is a CMO, and she has a team of Lisa and Mark. And what they try to achieve with Datorama is the following, is to unify all marketing data, understand the impact of offline versus offline media spend, and optimize the budget in their spend. So I'll start first with the dashboard as a final representation of what Datorama is able to achieve, and I'll go into how to connect all that data, AI insights, media plan, and finish up with the dashboard. So here is the first representation that through the eyes of a marketing. So what I see here is that this is all my channels that I have connected to, and what Datorama has done is that unified all that data for me and created basically one single overview across all my KPIs and goals. And that is, what is my media spend across all those channels? What is my sales, my impressions, conversion rate, and all that over time. And I can really easily start also to understand my cross-channel performance. For example, here I have my different campaigns that are running right now, and here's my total spend on that specific campaign, my sales, conversion rate, but I also can start digging in what is that performance compared to different channels that I'm running it on, what is the performance across different products or product category or vendors or affiliates. ROI calculations you're running in the background to understand that maybe this product on this specific channel works better off on another, and this is how marketers use this system to start relocating and optimizing their budget. Like for example, if this product on this specific channel doesn't work as well as on another, so let's pause this project in this channel, move over the money to another channel where it works much better. But for companies that are running hundreds of those campaigns, you also need to not only understand the digital media spend, you also want to understand things like your offline spend versus ad impressions. As I start scrolling down, I can even see a full funnel analysis, again, across all the different channels that I'm running this on. Our marketing intelligence AI also lifts up the most important parts of this cross-channel performance. Like for example, here I see that in this specific campaigns on this specific product, there is higher than usual conversion rate for this week, and I can start digging in and exploring that and replicating this knowledge to my maybe other campaigns. And I can see top performing assets that cross different countries that I have and regions. Because we're connecting to all those channels in real time, like Facebook ads and Google ads, we can also communicate to those channels. And for example, in this case, It is about increasing or decreasing bid or alerting my teams also on the performance on those channels. How did we connect all this data together? Now let's go into the connect and mix. So now I am in the connect and mix tab, and what I see here is different marketing vendors and the pre-made API connectors that we have developed. And why is this important? Because if you're working on a data analytics team and you're developing your own connector, you need to stay always up to date, because Google and Facebook are changing those connectors about 4 or 5 times per year. And if you are not keeping them up to date, your imports will not work. But Datorama team makes it really easy, because we are always watching for all the updates that are coming in. And you may ask how easy it is to connect to those connectors. It's really by selecting one of those icons, logging in with your credentials, and going to the mapping tab. And what Datorama here does in the background is really starting to understand that data. What does it have, but also what is the structure of that data, and identify how all those fields that are coming in here from the left side can be mapped to the right side through something that we call a data model. And what is a data model? Data model is basically a structure about the data that comes in. In this form, the structure is ads, because each ad, it has a date, a category, a name, a status, a budget. And as you see here, Datorama already pre-mapped a lot of those important things for me, so I don't need to do it myself, because otherwise what I need to do is that I need to map all the things and understand them, how to map them, like what is the primary key, what is impression, what is the input impression, and how does it relate to all the data that I have imported from all other data sources. And there is a data model for things like search keywords, for conversion tags, and so on. And of course, you can automate this refresh cycle each hour or each day. But what about all the other data that is maybe not having an API connector that is really easy to connect to, but it comes in an Excel or CSV file, and it is pushed first to OneDrive or to Azure Blob Storage or S3 bucket from, and let's say we want to upload in Nielsen statistics. And what Datorama does is really the same process. It tries to understand the data and map it and convert it to a knowledge basically inside Datorama. And for example, we see here that identify that yes, this is an ad, and already pre-mapped some of the things for me, like media cost, GRP, reach, date, and so on. So again, you don't need to do it for hundreds and hundreds of fields on tens of different connections. But what about all those other things that are not mapped automatically here? So what I can do is that I can create my own modification on top of that predefined data model. Like for example, here I have a brand, and what we will do here is actually teaching Datorama for next time that every time it sees thing in brand and we are mapping it to ads, it will also automatically map it to brand. So what happened is that there are different data sources from Google, from LinkedIn, Salesforce, and Total Connect that has been mapped to campaign, and things like input campaign name underscore name was the name of a campaign in one file, but another file is called much differently. It has been still mapped to the same thing in Datorama. So instead of having to clean your data yourself manually and spending time on it, Datorama can basically clean the data for you. It can also do some other things, like for example, pattern recognition. So many of our customers and their marketeers, they really like to encode inside the campaign name this kind of pattern. Like for example, this is a quarter, and we can start to simplify that. This is a quarter, this is a campaign type, and this is a campaign strategy. And what the Datorama will do is that each time it sees a pattern anywhere in any of those files in imports, it will automatically decode and simplify that. What else can we do? So under the tab of Analyze and Act, what we can do is create a machine learning bot. We start here from scratch that tracks a specific KPI. Let's see, you want to decrease the cost per lead that is coming in from marketing channels. What you can do here is set a different specific time frame, which will look at all data, suggest which dimensions it will look at. And what the Datorama will do is try to understand what is the pattern between channel, device, campaign, and product that increases the cost per lead. And as soon as we identify that, we can go in and take a look what are my top performing campaigns based on that specific KPI that I told you about, and what are my bottom performing campaigns. So for example, we see here that the campaign awareness summer 2021 for site, this one, it underperforming. It does create leads for us, but 15% less. Let's say you want to create monthly specific amount on leads on specific channels in specific regions. What you will do is that you will create a goal. As soon as that goal is hit, we can create an automatic notification to your team through an email, Slack, or if you have Microsoft Teams, then using EFTT, or we can even go to Facebook, go back to LinkedIn, pause the campaigns there. And this is how we start not only like importing data and just visualizing, but also starting reacting to data, tracking your goals, making sure that the data is actionable and your team actually follows the goals that they have established in the beginning of the year. And as a final holy grail that I wanted to show here is the Media Planning Center. So what is this? Imagine you're in the beginning of your year where you plan for how much do you want to spend by month on each of those different channels, on Google, on social media channels, on strategy, on different campaigns. And this is where marketeers will either import their metrics that maybe they have calculated somewhere else already. And what Datorama will provide is really a feedback on how does data actually compare to your goals and give you suggestions. And this is how the suggestions look like. According to my plan here, what I wanted to do is I wanted to plan a budget about $755,000, and Datorama is telling me that the cost per visit that you're tracking as a KPI, so I can have different KPIs here, is 61. So what this suggests me is that you should decrease this planned budget. And the reason is that in the social media, where I only want to spend $300,000 compared to $700,000, the cost per lead is $44 and here is 61, right? So the cost per lead here is much more efficient for each dollar or each euro that I want to spend, and the Datorama is recommending me to increase this budget while decreasing this one. And as marketeer, I can go into simulation mode and I can start do my forecasting. Like for example, what happens if I do go and increase the social media spend by 10%? Can the Datorama then calculate the total impact of that? What will be the cost of the visits, of the leads? And again, those KPIs are just in my demo environment, but they can be different KPIs. So what I have shown you so far is the dashboard, the connection part, the AI insight where I can create bots in actions, and the media plan. This is where our customers can optimize 30% of their budget. And when it comes to connecting the data, this is where our customers save lots of hours on not having to prep all that data manually. And let's go into the build versus buy. So what the Datorama is also in the background, it connects to all this data on this side to here. And what I mean to here is that the Datorama can visualize that data internally, but it can also push it to Tableau, to Click, to Power BI. And what it really does in the background is connecting to all that data. So usually in this first stage, like connecting to the APIs or to files, you will have to use some of the market systems out there. Then the next stage, what the Datorama does here in the background is saving all that data in a database and then running a transformation process on top of that. And this is something, again, you need to use for another system, because those first systems, they don't have a transformation engine. And it's really hard to merge all the data from tens of different data sources. Then again, it is saving that data and creating a highly performance database. Again, in the market, our customers would use something like a Snowflake or BigQuery or Amazon Redshift, and you can also run machine learning on top of that. And finally, you can push it out or visualize it directly in the Datorama. So basically, the Datorama, what it's doing is this entire flow in just one system, right? And how many people would you need for that? Well, you'll need the entire team if you want to create this kind of tech stack from scratch.